Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. I was almost going to say, hopefully everyone's had a fantastic Saturday, but it is indeed Friday night. To be honest with you, it feels like a weekend for some reason, but nevertheless, anyway, we are here, of course, for Liverpool versus Arsenal, or the other way around, Arsenal versus Liverpool match preview, and of course, I am joined by a very special guest. Spider, LFC as well. Spider, how you doing, my friend?
How's it going, buddy? All right? All good, all good.
I'm very good, thank you, mate. I'm nervous but excited for this game. I think a lot of people are more nervous than excited, which I think is probably the first time we've felt like this playing Arsenal for a good while. Um,
Maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe. I'm excited for it. I,
I think a
I, I
lot. I think a lot of people are.
yeah, as you say, people are nervous. They have a reason to be nervous. We started off fairly poorly this season, but on the back end of such a hard season last season, it was expected to have some sort of drop off for a while. But no, I'm excited, dude, because we to put on a show against we looked a lot better against Rangers. Rangers not really a side to to talk about that, to judge on that. But for me, like, it's just the shape that we had, the positions we were taking up, everything, looked much better. And coming into this game, with Liverpool, when it comes into such an important game, we don't tend to back down. We don't tend to kind of drop off a bit. Um, for some reason, we've thought of United as a nothing team the last few seasons, that sometimes we can get complacent against them, and then sometimes we can put them away. That I don't judge it on that this season. It's like the teams, as you say, against, as we all say, against Brighton and all of these people, that we do tend to kind of maybe get ahead of ourselves a bit and not pay them enough respect. But no, these are two must-win games in a row against Arsenal and Man City. And you win these two games against Arsenal and Man City, you have a game in hand at both of them, and you're 4 and 5 points behind them both. And that's not a bad position to be in with the current start of the season. So we
It's
got to
it's
go do it.
it's mad to say that.
Mm,
Like with such the poor start that we've had,
mm.
it's mad to go. Oh, we're only like a win away from
Yeah,
both of them. And
yeah.
it is mental as well. But guys, let me know how you all are in the chat as well down below. Brian's in saying evening boys as well. 1890s Red Podcast is in as well saying lads. And then the weirdest question of them all, Connor, what shampoo do you use? I'm not giving that. I'm not giving that secret away at all. He mentioned as well saying hello, fellow Reds, as well. Anyway, but yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, and please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell as well. But we'll dive straight into it then. Of course, looking at the head-to-heads over the last couple of seasons, and of course, we'll look at the team form as well. Of course, Arsenal losing to Manchester United, a bit unlucky. I thought that in that game.
Mm,
To be fair, of course, winning every single other Premier League game this season. Of course, we all know Liverpool's form going into this game. Anyway, but you look at the head-to-heads over the last couple of seasons. Well, I say a couple of seasons over the last couple of games. Of course, all these games was last season, and of
mm.
course, Arsenal didn't score a single goal
Yeah,
against Liverpool last year. Of course, Liverpool, 2-0, 2-0, 0-0, and then 4-0. Of course, Diogo Jota is the only memory with that. Of course, sitting down Aaron
yeah,
Ramsdale with that
yeah,
as well. But Spider, speaking about Arsenal,
yeah,
of course, it is a much different side that we are going to be playing
yeah,
on Sunday. Of course, currently top of the league. Arsenal
yeah.
fans don't want us to, remember that fact that they are currently top of the league. But what has been your thoughts of Arsenal this season, and overall, what do you think has changed from last season's Arsenal to this season's Arsenal?
Um, well, I think one thing, getting rid of Aubameyang was one step in the right direction, really, because as much of a good goal scorer as he is a bit of a bad stain on a club when you're behind the scenes. He can cause a lot of, they've done it over the last few years. Moving on Sanchez, moving on Ozil, moving on Aubameyang in the last while. They've made kind of the right decisions with the players at the right time, getting rid of them. But over the last season or so, I've watched the documentaries and on Prime Video.
Mm.
I watched it with the Ars, and I watched it, and I could see what Arteta kind of brings to them as a team. But you know, you don't. I didn't think that he was going to or do as well as he did this season because of those. I don't think it showed him in the greatest highlights. You know, it showed him as a passionate man and very philosophical for some reason. You know, and in that way. But I just think they started believing in themselves because Arsenal are a team that was always full of good passers and you know, but I think they've hit form at the right time, but I don't think they've come up against the best opposition yet. And that's always the case with an Arsenal or a Spurs until they hit that form, until they come up against good opposition. Um, United had a good start this season. Arsenal came up against them. Arsenal were unlucky to lose against them, but they lost against them. And that's the thing about Arsenal; they still have the same defense, pretty much in there. You know, they've more of a threat now going forward, and that will cause Liverpool hassle because of how poorly our defense has started this season. But depending on the formation, Arsenal could come and play against the formation that they think Liverpool are going to play against them. But Klopp has been tinkering with things recently, so I think it's, this could be one of them classics. It could be anything like a 4-3 or 4-2 kind of thing, but we don't know. It could just turn out to be a boring 1-0 or 1-1. But no, it's Arsenal are doing well this season, and we got to shut them up. Simple as.
Yeah, 100%. No, absolutely. I think, look, I'd much prefer a 1-0 win over a 4-3 any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I think you are right. I just come off an Arsenal, of course, channel just now, and you know what, they will.
That must have been fun.
It was acting like they were acting like if they had been in Champions League finals and winning Premier League titles and so on. I'm like, guys, this is the first time you're doing this in 20 years. Like,
yeah, I was watching a video today, and I don't know where the clip came from, and somebody shared it, but it was two Arsenal guys in a chat, a United fan and an Arsenal fan in the chat, and they were both bigging up each other, and at the same time they were slating Liverpool, saying like, what have they done in the last 20 years? Really? Yeah. Have you seen this? Yeah. And I'm like, these guys really thinking this way? Like, I mean, these are, you're talking about 3 different eras in the space of the last 10 years of football teams, which has been changed. Klopp's team became Klopp's team pretty much from 2017 onwards, even though he was there from 2015. So you got to take this era into account, and then you're going back to a time now. But in that same era, they've had the same amount of Champions League with their best team ever. Than we did in a team that's only a few years old. So yeah,
I seen it, and they were like, "Oh, we don't really see Liverpool as a Champions League side." Liverpool have been to more European finals since Jurgen Klopp's been in than Arsenal and Manchester United have been in the knockout stages of the Champions League. Yeah. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It's just ridiculous.
It's clueless saltiness is what I call that. These are, no offense to those lads, but they haven't got a clue what they're talking about. Not a clue.
It's just for those good clips and the good hits as well.
Yeah. People just say things, don't they? Just to say, "Oh, come in and see me." I get it. But we're all about the truth on these channels, aren't we, Connor? Really. So yeah,
we will speak the truth and nothing but the truth. We promise. Anyway, even though sometimes we can be a bit deluded, but I think it's given. To be fair, anyway.
Yeah. It's fair for every fan of every club to be deluded of their club. But then you go a step further by creating fake stats and scenarios, and then you've lost the plot. So yeah,
100%, absolutely 100%. Devil head and shoulders. I'm not giving it away. I'm guessing Yusuf, Luke, and Ricky are all in a chat right now because they're all putting really random comments in the chat. Talia Old Bean as well says Gary used to say he loved beans on toast. He doesn't. 4-2-4 Liverpool 4-3 winners as well. We'll get on the system in a brief moment anyway. Liverpool have a better squad than Arsenal, says Gary. I'd agree as well. Even though I've seen people going on about Saliba is the best defender in the league and that, and like, Jesus Christ, it's 7 games. 7 games, and you're saying this, like, Jesus Christ. There is too much Arsenal hype. We will be the biggest test if Klopp gets it right. Exactly, and that's the thing, and that's what I said in the Arsenal stream, where they were like, Liverpool have underestimated teams, and like teams like Brighton and Fulham, and we've beaten teams like that, and it's like, but yeah, Liverpool should beat Fulham. Yeah. And Brighton, they should. But to be fair to them, Fulham and Brighton are 2 very good sides.
Yeah, they played well this season. Yeah, not just against us, but against other teams.
There's no easy team in the Premier League. That's why the Premier League's the best league in the world. There's no easy team. Because anyone could beat anyone on any day.
Absolutely.
But again, people, it's just stupid. Big up, guys. Stream I'm on is running over. Hopefully not. Don't worry, John. It will be to see you very, very soon, my friend.
Hey, John.
Tally old John as well. Brian says Arsenal fans really annoy me. You'd swear they was nobody in their side over 21, youngest team, blah blah blah. Average age is about 0.1 less than most as well. Yeah, absolutely. Arsenal are that pretty lass who everyone has seen. For God's sake, Gary. Three club finals alone. Arsenal have done the square root of all in Europe over 50 years as well. Yeah, absolutely as well. And Rob is in the chat as well. Hello, Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic
Yeah, of
day,
course.
my friend. Anyway, of course, I think Rob will be angry if we talk about Arsenal anymore. But of course, let's talk then about Liverpool. Of course, Jurgen Klopp confirming today that Curtis Jones is back in training. Of course, Andy Robertson is out still. And of course, there are currently rumours going around that Thiago Alcantara is currently injured. Not confirmed, but apparently he was the only player not in training photos today, which again, Twitter goes in a meltdown.
It's a knock.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything to be concerned about. Like we all say, wrap Thiago in bubble wrap, and I think that's exactly what Liverpool have done.
Yeah.
To be fair, but looking at it as well, looking at the injury list, of course, Ox and Naby are the ones that are majorly out, as well as Robbo. And then, of course, the news, Arthur Mello. Of course, I think Twitter thought that it would be COVID that kept Arthur out, but it is a muscle injury for Arthur at the moment anyway.
I expected that to happen because he's been overworking himself recently. He's been hiring like extra physios to come in during the break and putting in like double shifts per day to get the fitness, and that's going to catch up with the guy. But these little muscle injuries are about to happen in only a few days. You know, they'll keep him out for a game and a half maybe.
It's mad because he hasn't played, I think, since February, like late February, I think. And that is so again, he's trying. To be fair, I like his work rate. The fact he's trying everything to get match fit, and so on. Anyway, but Spider, to be fair, obviously Robbo out most likely now another week for Andy Robertson as well. But and me and Jack were speaking about this. Do you think that Robbo should earn his place back? Because obviously last season when Robbo got injured and Costas played, he just walked back into the team.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I think personally he should earn his place back.
I do
he shouldn't
think so.
Shouldn't just walk straight in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you there. Yeah,
do you think Costas should keep his place?
I think at the moment, yeah. I mean, he's what has Costas had one off game since he's come in for Robbo, and that's about it. You know, he's done well in the rest of the games, and if he, let's see how he gets on against Arsenal this weekend. He could run Arsenal riot, and all of a sudden Robbo's kind of going, oh, hang on a minute, no, I'm going to have to really, really work out to get back in, and Robbo being our best left back, he's being kept out by Tsimikas is going to tell you exactly what you need to know about the squad. That every single person that comes on that pitch is capable of keeping somebody else out, bar your, somebody for Salah, because there's nobody really up there to replace him, really, unless you stick Harvey Elliott up there, but he's too, he's not, he's even got the experience yet for that kind of role. Yeah, no, I think he has to fight his way back into the squad. I think he needs to. I think he needs to get that drive back. He's always been a legend on the pitch. He's always been all about the banter and the passion. I think he needs to get that fear back in his game, where if he doesn't play well, he's going to be dropped. And that's the thing about any player that comes into a football team. If they don't have fear when they're playing, then they're not playing. They're not playing 100%. They're playing nowhere near 100%. And I think that's the kind of a scenario with Trent as well. He never really had much of a competition. He was in there, became complacent. Now he's getting caught out for certain things because he's not thinking the same way. He's not on the ball because he's not, all those thoughts aren't firing and at the same time, watching where the runs are making. Because he did so well for a couple of seasons defending, because we all know that he wasn't the strongest defender, but then he learned from it and became a better defender. Balls weren't going over the top of him. As I think it was that game with Rashford United 2-1 when he got past him over the top. I think from that game onwards he started learning what was going on with his game, and he became better, and then it just kind of crept back in because he didn't have any competition. But I'm hoping that Ramsey will give the same competition to Trent that Tsimikas has after given to for Andy Robber, and long may it continue, because whoever comes out on top, it's benefit for us as fans. And that's the whole point at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think as well. It's I think Pep Guardiola spoke about it when when City lose and they change. It won't be the
Yeah.
same team as the previous week, and that's
Mm.
for me the biggest the biggest difference between Liverpool and Manchester
Yeah.
City is the fact that they can have a back four of like they'll play Cancelo left back one week, Kyle Walker might not play good the other
Yeah.
side, they'll just completely change it. And that is the difference between I think Liverpool and City is the fact that people have got a bit complacent in the team.
Yeah.
Like Fabinho, for example, like Fabinho was benched in the Champions League. For Hendo in the six. I think that's a conversation as well. If it is the same
Massive.
system, who plays in that too? Because obviously we saw in the week Thiago and Hendo played pretty well together.
Yeah.
But of course, Fabinho for me over the past couple of years has been one of the best DMs in world football. But there does come a point where if he's not, backing up his ideas,
Mm.
perfectly, sit him out for a couple of games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you have to show players that as well. Certainly, and this does kind of go into the Trent conversation in terms of, Trent of course today turns 24, but again, a 24-year-old regular first team football,
Mm.
I think needs a bit of that bite to go.
Yeah.
Look, you don't play well, you
Mm.
can be dropped and someone else can play instead of you and
It's
keep
I think
at the same level.
yeah, I think what you're spot on there. What you're saying, it's literally you're hitting your maturity peak in the next 2 years. Starting that 2 year period where you're going to be at your 3 year period. If you got these days, you don't know where it's going to begin and end because people are so fit. But always through the history of football, 26 to 29 was always kind of your peak. And he's come to that point that he's already done so much in the game that you don't want him to get bored of the challenge. You want him to fight more for the club. You need him to have competition. You need him to have a bite to his game. He's after bulking up. He can knock people off the ball now so easily that these days, whereas before he could be leaned off the ball. But look, I have great trust in Trent. I know he'll come good eventually. He loves the club. Yeah, for me personally, I want to see him moved into the midfield. It saves us buying in a midfielder, and he's the best passer we have in the team by a country. He spots a pass. I was going through some of his passes there over the last few years, and even that one where he passes it through to Bobby against Monterrey in the Club World Cup. That kind of eye for a pass alone, and not even withstanding the Divock Origi goal, but these kind of passes don't have to be flashy long, but he spots the gaps. So I'm thinking a player like that man could do. I'd like to see him eventually take over from Henderson in his role. And I think he can play that role. I don't think he needs to go that far forward. I think he can control the game alongside some. Thiago is going to be gone at that stage, but I think he can start controlling the game along somebody who's a similar ilk of Thiago in the middle of the park. I'd like to be able to see that, and he'll have learned his defensive game from his early years at Liverpool. So hopefully, it's something I'd like to see. Hopefully, Klopp sees the same in him because I know that's what he wants to do. It definitely is. He's been that way for years. But look, yeah, we'll see.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think the I think obviously the Rangers game midweek
Mm.
would obviously give Trent confidence because for me he was
Yeah,
man of the match for me in that game.
yeah.
And I think the new 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, I don't even know what to call it anymore because it wasn't a 4-4-2 and it wasn't a four
No.
two three one. It was a kind of like mixture of everything.
Yeah.
But it did give us a lot more solidity in the midfield, more so than one we've had in previous games. And I think that's the thing where we've spoken about for weeks only, just protection for Trent
Mm.
because they're so good going forward. Sorry, defensively they need help, and obviously in the 4-3-3, it hasn't been working over the last
Yeah.
couple of weeks and so on. And I think that I think a big question going into this game on the Liverpool side of things is should we stick with it? For me, it's a massive yes
Mm.
because I think everyone benefits from it. A, you look more defensively sound. B, Nunes and Jota look excellent in a
Yeah.
partnership already. Salah looks more involved
Yeah.
in the game, and it just looks that Liverpool looked more attacking, even though we got the 2 goals, yes, from a free kick and a penalty, but Liverpool created a tremendous amount of chances on midweek against Rangers, and I think that was apparently only with one session's work. If
Mm.
it's been if Klopp has worked throughout the rest of the week now. What's that, 3 or 4 sessions
Yeah.
to properly nail this in? For me, I think it's a guarantee Liverpool play the 4-2-3-1 or
Yeah,
4-4-2.
it's you've hit the nail on the head there, because for me, with that formation, the players don't have to do as much running as they did in the previous years, because with the 4-2-3 they had to cover a lot of ground, and a couple of lads would have to cover across in different ways. To get to positions and to box players in. But in this position, there's already players sitting in those positions. So when you have people that are sitting in the center of the park with a 2, yeah, there's no extra man that's sitting inside there, but the extra man now is up behind the opposition's midfield, and they're able to receive passes and triangles through the middle of the park, and it's tearing midfields apart now, even with only 2 sitting midfielders inside there. So it's making us look more busy in the middle of the field without having the extra man inside there. So yeah, it's working a treat. I'd like to see it used more. And there's not many you have to give it to Klopp as well when he does it, because when he does see a problem going wrong, he sits down, even if it takes a couple of weeks. He looks at what the strategy is. He looks at where we can still get goals but look defensively sound. And he now has 4 forwards in the team and only 2 midfielders, and we look more defensively sound than we did when we had, when we had.
It's a bit weird to say that.
Yeah, it's weird to say that, but we have 4 forwards in the team and 2 midfielders, and they're both not really sitting midfielders if you think of it that way. Thiago's more of an anchor man. Jordan Henderson played most of his career at Liverpool up in that right hand side. Rather than he's done really well when he's in the 6 over a couple of seasons, but yeah, we look defensively sound. And I've said it from the start, there's no issue with Trent and Robbo in this team. The problem is when they don't have the right midfielders sitting next to him to cover him. And when Jordan Henderson's not in that team next to Trent, he looks vulnerable because the balls are passing over. He's not covering from Trent. As we know, Trent likes to go walkies. And when he goes walkies, Hendo's always sitting back selflessly, because he's telling them, look, I know you've got a better right foot than me. I know you've got a better pass than me. Just move into that position. And then, when I need to, I'll come back. And but when he went off last week, Millie came on in the whole lot. The first time that they got 2 chances together on Rangers, it went straight over Trent's head, then bypassed through the middle of him, and then that was it. So this is where you have to watch whoever's going to come in, because Jordan Henderson's in his 30s and whatever they do. Klopp will know this. He's a manager. I'm not a manager of a football team. I just watch football, but he knows, and I'm just giving my kind of take on it. He knows that for that to work with Trent, because he's still a young dude, he's going to need another person of Jordan Henderson's ilk, or make Trent that person. Trenderson, yeah, I'll call him that. Or make Trent that Henderson person to take over from, as Henderson's legs start to go, and then give Ramsey shotting right back and bringing Maboya up, or bringing in more cover that way, because I think that's where the transition is going to start happening. Really, that's what I want to see it happening. Really, I want to see Trent moved up forward. More forward.
100%. I think what's interesting as well is potentially a 3 at the back as well, and you keep him on that, as a right-sided player, but more of a midfielder role instead of a full-on right back area as well. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the chat as well, because I'd like to know your guys' opinion as well. Do you think Klopp will stick with a 4-3-3 or go with a 4-2-3-1? For Arsenal, let me quickly scroll back up because the chat
is flying
all the way up. I already read that one.
Sorry, lads, I forgot you were there for a while.
Don't worry, I forget. Do you know what? That's one of the most watching things to stream, and it's like chat quick. Costas can cross the ball.
I think Jack has got it nailed down there recently. I've watched your little habits, haven't I, Jack? And what I've noticed is that, no, what you're going to tell me, right? This is Jack now. What you can tell me now, Connor and Chat and Kev. And when he does that and he's sitting there, the chat is always in there. You know what you're doing. Is that right? Jack, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Jack
is, of course.
Jack on the run. For God's sake, Connor on the ropes, trying to get your own overtime. Hey, look, you could come in if you want to, but I thought you were getting kidnapped by Arsenal fans at 8 o'clock. So to be fair, I didn't know how long you were going to be, and plus I was very late turning up today because I mucked up on time, as I normally do. Anyway, but yeah, Jack, if you want to come in, then I will send you a link on Twitter. He used to look like he'd die on the pitch. Now he's just content as well. I think that's what Trent. To fair, Klopp doesn't drop anyone. He rotates with the amount of matches and players available as well. Yeah, 100%. Very political way of being dropped. Hey, get your ad campaign in, if that's what you want to bloody do. Brian says Trent would have been dropped earlier if we had someone to come in. Gomez, no thanks. You need players on the bench good enough to play. That's the hardest thing to get as well. Yeah, and I think the big problem is as well, Ramsey has been injured, and plus he's unlikely to play any games because, of course, him, Ibu, and even Curtis Jones to some extent is going through that pre-season phase where they haven't really played any games, and of course they're trying to get back up to fitness as well with Arthur Mello as well, to some extent. But I can get what you're on about there, Brian, as well. The front four should go for it. Yeah, absolutely. McKenna on his third account. Going. I'm not going to say that. Otherwise, I'm going to be screeching. When Salah and Nunes start getting used to each other, they will be really dangerous as well. Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, it is an adapting period as well at the moment, isn't it? Because I think Nunes said in Portuguese to Virgil, "It won't go in, brother," or something like that. People have got. So again, he's bloody. He is getting used to things, but again, supposedly he said he can't understand Klopp when he speaks, so that's a worrying sign for anything. But is that you, Jack, as well? Says Rob. Then quickly scroll back down. Gary says one is calling the attack the four arrows. That's a good slogan for BT and Sky. That is. Like and subscribe as well. Says the Anfield Road TV. Lord McKendo with a crown as well. Yeah, but again, crowns on Fall Guys. That's what he's going to be doing later. Talio La as well. Salah isn't going to be scoring 25 plus goals again. In my opinion, Nunes can share the load as well. But to be fair, I think the only person that's going to be getting 25 plus is Erling Haaland at the moment. He's just on another level, sadly.
He'll get that next week.
Oh, I think if it was that random record, like the fastest player to ever get 3 Premier League hat tricks. 8 games for him, and I think the next one was Michael Owen with 48 games.
Yeah,
that's outrageous, absolutely outrageous, as well. But Conor and the Rob, right? It's by the. Hey, to be fair, look, McKenna, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say you still owe me for that payment. Wait, what? I've got a player of Chinese I'm scranning quite as well. Buy one, get one free. Dock the wages, Jack. Dock the wages for what, Rob? He doesn't pay his employees. It's his ma as well. Starting 11, lads in chat as well. Yeah, let us know in the comment section. Down below. And Brian says, I don't mean we would have dropped Trent altogether, just give him the timeout, but Gomez is a very basic fullback and Ramsey has never kicked the ball for the club. I just wish we had better cover
you're right.
as well. Blame FSG. No, I'm kidding, don't do that. I don't want to start the whole riot anyway for now. Anyway, but we'll get in then to start 11 predictions for the chat as well. Spider, first of all, are you sticking with a 4-2-3-1, and what are you going for?
Yeah, I might, because I think it'll overrun Arsenal. I think Arsenal are going to come. We're going to go to Arsenal, and they're going to expect us to be somewhat counter-attacking and stick with the 4-3-3, which has worked against Arsenal in the past. But we've got that added danger now of Gabriel Jesus. I never used to worry about him much when he was playing with City. He didn't really do much, but he's the type that I know he's a defender now, that they've got guys in behind him that are capable of scoring goals, and that's where always the danger came from with Gabriel Jesus. So yeah, I don't know. I can give you both, but a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. But I'm gonna try the 4-2-3-1 this time and see what way they work. If he's going to go with the 4 forwards or not, and we'll see. Or if he's going to think that he's going to need more protection with the 3-man midfield. I don't know.
Bugger it, just go 6 up top. Just shove everyone up top.
Just kick it back to Alisson and Van Dijk and who else is going to be there? It's probably going to be Matip, and just let them lob it over their midfield all the time with 6 lads waiting to chest it down.
It'll be sound.
We'll do that.
But so yeah, go on.
I think Ali obviously. Yeah, Trent will come in. We'll have Ibu's not ready yet, as you said. He's in pre-season mode. We'll have Matip, Van Dijk, and Tsimikas. So that kind of backline picks itself at the moment. Thiago taking that knock is the thing. Is he going to start him? Is he going to rest him? I'm going to just pick on what I believe is the best team to face in Arsenal squad. So, yeah, I'd say if he's going to go 4-2-3-1, would he? No, I don't think he'll rest Fabinho 2 games in a row.
No, I think Fabinho starts.
If Fabinho starts, we might get a 4-3-3. That's the thing.
It's that thing, isn't it? It's like if Thiago is injured, does he then put Fabinho and Hendo in a 2? Which I wouldn't be against, but
no.
Brexit football.
Yeah. Jesus, man, this has me stumped this week because I'm normally full of it.
It's not the fact that we can normally go right 4-3-3. You go there, you go there. It's actually complex because we don't know who's going to play.
I'm just going to base on the 4-2-3-1. I'm going to say that Fabinho is going to still stay dropped and come on late, as he's in rest mode or something like that. We'll say, and I'll go with Thiago and Henderson. For now, I think Jota likes to go against Arsenal, so I think he'll start. You got to start Diaz, you got to start Núñez and Salah, and I'm thinking that's your front four for 4-2-3-1. If you go 4-3-3, it's going to be Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago, and then you're going to have. I think then it'll be Diaz, Jota, and Salah start, and I think Núñez will come on later.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that's changing around.
I agree. I think I'll show you. Let me quickly get the banner off the screen. But this is, I think Liverpool will stick with a 4-2-3-1.
Okay, cool.
The fact that Klopp has spoken about it even today and gone, we've tried it and we seem to like it, and we need to defend the shit out of the teams as well. That would be my team. I think.
Okay.
I think Thiago and Fabinho would be the 2 for me. And then I agree. Okay. I pretty much agree then with the rest of the team. I think the front 4 speaks for itself. Obviously, Tsimikas on the left, Trent on the right, both Virgil and Matip. If Konate was match fit, it would be Konate in there for me, even though I do love Joel Matip. But I think Konate is in that system, gives you another element of protection then for Trent if he bombs forward. But obviously for now we've got to play Joel Matip. But for me, I do think he will stick with a 4-2-3, 4-4-2, Thiago, whatever. I
didn't even think of Fabinho in there for Henderson because I'm so worried about the Thiago situation. Not worried about it, but is he just taking him out for a knock? Is he going to play on Sunday? If he doesn't play on Sunday, I don't know if he'll play Henderson and Fabinho in that sitting role. Then you're seeing it becoming a 4-3-3 again, and I don't know. But if that would be an ideal team right there to play with in a 4-2-3-1. Absolutely.
It's worrying, isn't it? Because the fact that we've seen everyone in training, and now we haven't seen Thiago, and that's the big worry. Where we're like, I think more than any other player, I think we're like, oh crap, Thiago's out injured.
Yeah.
And like there was rumors after the Champions League game that it was something to do with his calf. The reason why he was taken off, and you're like, oh, it's just rumors. Maybe it was just someone making up crap, but there's been no official reports yet that Thiago is out. So let's just say that. And again, players have missed training, or haven't been seen in training, and then of course have played the weekend as well. So again, we'll keep you up to date. But for me, I think Thiago will be fine. I think again, Liverpool are just they're just covering up in bubble wrap. That's
do you remember the good old days, Connor, when football players came off the pitch when it was going back, and they didn't notice until they went back on the pitch the next week when they were pulling up the socks that the opponent's teeth were still in their knee. You know what I mean? Do you remember those days?
Do you know what? I hate Manchester United with a passion. Yeah. But I remember, was it Rooney against West Brom? Where his leg was like dangling off, and he just walked back on the pitch. As a kid, that was like the peak of where I think he broke his ankle, and he didn't have any more substitutions. So they're like, oh yeah, just play for the next 15 minutes, and he did. I think he scored a goal as well. I'm not sure on that, but mental. Absolutely mental.
Was that the metatarsals thing? Wasn't it? He broke his metatarsal or something.
Might be. I can't remember what he broke. I know he broke something, but I don't know what.
The flat of the foot, the metatarsals. Yeah.
But Gary's gone Ali, Trent, Konate. I'd like to be Konate, but I don't think that'll be happening. Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Thiago, Henderson, Diaz, Jota, Núñez, and Salah, with Núñez further forward as well. I know because I've seen a lot of people getting mad that he was playing a bit left against Rangers, and it's like, look, they're interchanging one another
Yeah.
as well. But for me, I think the big thing for Liverpool right now is having Diogo Jota back in the
Yeah.
Liverpool team. I think that's the big thing more than anything. For the first time in ages, in years, team predictions isn't basic pick 11 players in a 4-3-3. Very, so if he goes 4-2-3-1, absolutely. Rob, get in the bin. That's what Liverpool's worst ever team, probably.
I know he forgot about what's his name. What was that guy's name?
Andy Carroll.
Oh, El Hedjouf.
Oh yeah, we don't
Yeah.
speak about him. Don't speak about him.
No.
4-2-4, the two man wall are much deeper than people think as well, says Gary. And again, it offers massive protection, doesn't it, for the lineup as well. But all assume it's 4-2-3-1 and go. Ali, Trent, Mate, Virgil, Tsimikas, Fabinho, Thiago, Diaz, Bobby, Salah, Nunes. Bobby to start for his work rate as well. Yeah, I didn't really think about Bobby.
Yeah, I didn't either, yeah.
Even though, to be fair, he has the same amount of goals and assists than Gabriel Jesus this season. So,
and also he's got a potload of goals against Arsenal.
7 goals, I think, in his Liverpool career. I think. Wait.
Oh.
Let me double check.
Now I'm starting to worry about the fact that Nunes mightn't be starting over Bobby in a 4-2-3-1.
Bloody hell! Yeah, didn't really think about Bobby. I just want, but yeah, he has 7 goals against Arsenal in his Liverpool career, which I think he's the most, is it? Apart from, I think it's him and Jota are the most out the squad. I think.
Yeah.
That's mental, to be fair. But yeah, guys, let us know as well. Who would you start out of Jota, Bobby, and Nunes? Because I think that's quite kind of interesting. Canate will start against Rangers, hopefully, and then get in for City. Yeah, Haaland against Canate, maybe. To be fair, to solve the Fabinho, Hendo, Thiago 4-2-3-1 problem, we could take off Alisson and go 4-1-2-3-1.
2-3-1.
Yeah, you could do. Was it
and
Thiago?
then every time the opponents kick the ball, it's going to be offside.
Yeah. Was it Thiago Motta involved a 2-7-2 formation years ago? And it's like, oh yeah, get the goalkeeper to play in midfield. Like how is that possible? Let's get to 20 likes as well. Says Weekender as well. Smash the likes. Chat, walk alone. 20 likes as well. Yeah, if you could, very much appreciated. Loves a goal against Arsenal, Spicer as well. Yeah, Bobby does love a goal. At least 3 were no-look finishes.
Yeah. His best goal against. Well, I remember walking up the steps because we were about 5 minutes late getting into the stadium because of some dope outside. And when we were coming in, I just walked up the steps with that Bobby curler into the top corner against Arsenal. He was only just after joining us recently. That was one of his best goals, but I still think the one where he dances between the Arsenal defense and it's a 5-1. That's phenomenal goal. He did something like that recently as well. So yeah, brilliant goal.
To be fair, I love the Jota goal from last year. Where he just sells Ramsdale for a good one. And Ramsdale just looks like, oh crap, what have I done? And was it in the League Cup as well, where he just batters everyone. Jota against Arsenal for me, it's just memories, especially in the Mackey's kit last season.
Yeah, I mean, if Bobby's going to start not scoring in this season, because everybody was thinking, is Bobby going to come up? Is he going to come down? He's been in an average, but better, he's been better in most games and poor in other games. So he's been an average, to be fair. But if you wanted somebody to take over the mantle and start scoring against Arsenal, because you need fellas to step up, then hopefully Jota steps up against Arsenal and the likes of Crystal Palace and these ones to take over from Mane and Bobby not scoring when they're not on. That'd be great. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, chat, get your score predictions in the chat then, because I think there's going to be a few interesting ones, of course. Have you gone 4-3 or whatever? But again, I think there will be mad ones, and I know Gary's going to put a mad prediction in the chat down below as well. But Spider, what are you going for Sunday afternoon?
It depends. All depends which Arsenal turns up, really. They've been great this season, but Liverpool always have their number. And even when they do go on a good run of games. I'm just going to be a bit bold and say 3-2 to us. Yeah, because I just think that there'll be weird nicked goals in there, or stupid penalty decisions, maybe a red card here or there. And, yeah, I want to say 3-1, but I'm going to say 3-2 because they're at home.
I'm not gonna lie, I've gone 3-1.
There you go.
Yeah, I've gone 3-1.
Yeah.
I think people are I think people are overly going over the fact that Liverpool have been poor this season.
Mm,
And it only takes one result to change things. And I'm like, that Rangers result in midweek, I
yeah.
think might have changed things, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Again, I've said this in the past and it hasn't worked out. But I think that Liverpool, for me, I think now will hopefully start to get that progression going and
Yeah.
changing the thing. So yeah, I've gone 3-1 because I think if we score early, which never happens,
Yeah.
but if we score early, I think that Arsenal stadium will get a bit toxic, as it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah. Yeah. They're known to be salty, aren't they?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think can't wait for AFTV on on Sunday night to be bloody piping her up anyway. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the chat as well down below, because I know there will be different thoughts and opinions as well. Chat, who's going to be the pivot Brexit 2 as well, says Jack. Desmond as well. 4-3 classic old beam as well. 1-1. Jack's gone for bloody hell. Negative you are, lads. What the hell's wrong with you? No, you can tell Jack's not confident about this. This is the best Liverpool fan channel. Thank you very much for kind words, my friends. As well, Eamon's gone 2-1 to Arsenal. Eamon, what's wrong with you, mate? Look, we always predict wins or draws, never defeats. No, but I can get where people are coming from, because I've seen a couple of Liverpool fans going, "Oh, it's going to be tough, especially if they get the first goal." The way we're acting at the minute, but again, I just think maybe Liverpool might go on a run now. Anyone get in the pin now, lads? As well, no, please be respectful to one another. Hopefully, hoping for a 3-1 as well, says El Scouser. I hope so. I bloody hope so. Guys going Liverpool will go on a run. Connor and Spider. Again, I hope so.
Yeah. I hope so too.
But again, the one worrying stat I will always say to people, 13 out of the last 15 games in all competition, Liverpool have conceded first. So,
this is why you said
good enough.
3-2. And it's just like, I want to just repeat what I said at the start there, because some of the lads were missing in the thing. Just to kind of denote some positivity for the lads going forward. When I don't know if you were there at the very, very start of the stream, lads, we were talking about like what's going to go on. If we beat Arsenal and we beat Man City over the next 2 weeks, then we have a game in hand and we're 4 and 5 points behind these guys that are supposed to be running away with the league, and we're supposed to have a poor season, and that, obviously the game in hand when we pick it up is probably going to be Chelsea, or it might even happen before that, and Chelsea wiggled in there somewhere. But I mean, that's got to be something positive to look forward to when it's only just October, and I see that the points tally says 11 points and all of that, but we have the game in hand, and I think they're all very achievable and winnable for us. I mean, we wiped the floor with City at the start of the season, and I still think we can do it again. Even Pep reckons that Arsenal are the best side playing in the league at the moment, and that us. We're a sleeping giant. He's never going to knock us out of a race until we're out of a race. So he's learned that lesson before. 16 points behind last season, we come back to within a point, and that was meant to be an okay season for us, going for the quadruple. So that's a lot of points behind, lads, and we've got a game in hand, and we've only got a few games to go. So look, let's keep it less negative over the next couple of weeks and just beat Arsenal, more positivity online. Let's post what you can. Because the lads read this shit. They do read this shit, and you'd like to see that they're getting backed anyway off the pitch, rather than just mowing that all the time. So yeah, let's go for it. Go beat the two lads over the next 2 games. Easing the new guys that are, not the new guys, the guys that are coming back from injury. Hopefully against Rangers, that'd be a good game to ease them in against, and hopefully we go, on a bit of a run. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on there, because I think Hendo was asked the question about, do the players read social media? He says, we don't try to, but again, players do look. at certain things, and again, you hope that the Reds can kick on. As we've spoken about today, from that Rangers win, and just hope now, there's confidence back in the boys, and that. But Rob says Arsenal can and will score. Need to just bite the bullet and try and land as many punches on them as we can, as well. Klopp is now over the last few presses publicly acknowledging all the stuff we talked about, so it's all out there now as well. Yeah, and exactly. And you never now hear Klopp swear in press conferences where you said, look, teams trying to, they're trying to effing attack us, more than any other team, and they defend for their lives more than any other team, because beating Liverpool and taking points off Liverpool is the biggest thing people can do throughout the seasons, and that as well. But spitting favors there, Spider.
What's that mean? I don't know what that means.
It's basically speaking the truth
right.
as well. But Spider is spitting facts. I think the best way is Rob as well. Anyway, but guys, we are going to leave it there for tonight anyway, because it is, I think 10:10 is it at the minute? I'm not sure. 5:10 I think it is. But we've been going for 46 minutes as well. Anyway, as well, of course, big thank you to all of you guys for being in the chat tonight, and big massive thank you to Spider as well. The holy man, the one that speaks the truth as well. But Spider, thank you for coming.
Looking like Jesus. I just
that's all you need. That's all you need now is the proper outfit and go, look, guys, I am the Holy Spirit.
Like a halo right here. It's a big ring in front of me. No problem, man. Connor,
big thank you for coming on. Where can people find you? And shout out anything.
They can find me on Spider LFC, obviously. Myself and Jack are starting a new channel together coming up. We're not going to mention what it is because we haven't announced it yet. And it's just a thing we're going to do a couple of times a week and bang that out there as well for extra content for you lads. And also straight after this, I'm continuing on my stream of Alien Isolation on Twitch, which is Irish Spider Guy on Twitch. So if you want to get scared and watch me get scared and watch my hair jump up like that, just come watch me. All right.
Absolutely brilliant, man. Of course, I will be in the stream as well. But guys, any mods in the chat as well, please leave Spider's links in the comments down below as well, so people go and head over to the Twitch stream as well. And big thank you to each and every single one of you guys as well. Rob saying thanks to lads as well. 3 more likes as well. Please hit that like button. Starwin must start the place as the 9 Liverpool. He will. No problems with that. Cheers, guys. You never walk alone. Woo as well, said Rob and Jackson. Have a great night, chat. You never walk alone. Massive thank you, everyone, as well. But big up, guys. Hopefully, of course, we'll be back on Sunday. Might be late tomorrow, maybe. We haven't decided yet, but maybe I'll be back on Sunday, hopefully, for post-match reaction to Liverpool, hopefully winning Arsenal, beating Arsenal, I should say. Anyway, but if we don't see you then have a fantastic Saturday and hopefully a fantastic Sunday as well. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from us. I've been Connor from the Cup Council. See you then. Ta-ra.